are live again. Today is side gigs and side hustles and everything, part-time business, part-time jobs. That's the main theme of today. My name is IanTheHRPro. I'm IanTheHRPro here, and I'm an HR consultant and Indigenous relations consultant. We can talk about HR today. We can talk about Indigenous relations today because Monday and yesterday I didn't have a live show. I'm sorry. But me and my wife, as part of National Reconciliation here in Canada, me and my wife were facilitating the Kairos blanket exercise. We did one on Sunday in person in our home community here in downtown Edmonton of Queen Mary Park, and then I did Monday I did a 1-hour history lesson to an organization just over lunch, so I ended up not being able to go live. And then on Tuesday, yesterday, we did another full in-person Kairos blanket exercise for the same company from Monday. And I guess shout out to Worley for doing that and bringing us out. They seem to be doing some amazing stuff. Their organizations, they're working towards their pair certification through Canadian Council for Indigenous Business, and they're actually at a silver level for pairs, so they're actually going for their gold level this year. So this just proves that this organization, Worley, is really doing a lot of work for truth and reconciliation within their organization. So shout out to them. Thanks for having us. And I hope you guys get some good Indigenous business now that you're pair certified. What else today? So yeah, yesterday was National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. It's kind of a hard day for me. It's kind of a hard week for me being Indigenous, and it is really supportive. It really makes me feel good when a lot of non-Indigenous people are, thanking me for doing the Kairos blanket exercise with them, and saying that they learned a lot and things like that. It's really, as we each go through our reconciliation journey here in Canada, some of us just flat out deny it. Some of us get a shock and realize at how terrible the treatment of Indigenous people have been over the last 500 years here in Canada. And if you speak to any elder or someone who started their reconciliation journey, it's not about punishment. It's not about trying to make people feel guilty about past wrongs. It really is about moving forward. It's the healing process, and an Indigenous person on this journey is going to be feeling this, and they're just trying to move forward. No hibiscus tea this morning. I've run out of hibiscus tea, so that's just plain old Earl Grey. Not hot. I'm a wimp. I have to take it warm. So I got something still in my throat, as always. I'm never going to get an awesome podcast sponsor with the way I operate myself, that's for sure. So, ask your question in the comments. Today is side gigs, side hustles, that part-time job you're taking, but we can talk about just HR in general. Monday was supposed to be our HR day, where we're talking about everything HR. That's usually managers, ownership, asking me questions, things like that. Tuesday was supposed to be Indigenous Relations Day, Indigenous Allyship. So if you want to talk about anything Indigenous related, go ahead, put it in the comments. We can talk about that. I've previously mentioned that my whole career right now feels like a side gig to me. I spend more time marketing and finding good ways to advertise. I've lost thousands of dollars advertising my business and got nothing from the advertising. What I'm trying now is called the 333 Challenge. I created it. I named it. It's a terrible name. I'm going to be posting at least 3 times a day for 30 days for 3 months, just to see what sticks, what works. And I'm also doing what's called a random post. I try to post something random every day, and so it's not really related to my business or something like that. Maybe it's a trending thing, something that's trending in the world. I know last week I did some samples of this, and I posted the one about Tylenol. The problem is I didn't research the trend first. So let this be a lesson. Research your trend a little bit before you make a post about it, because I didn't realize the issue was the US president believes Tylenol is giving autism to children in vitro when their mother takes it. But that's not true. It is not causal. Women who are pregnant get a headache, and in reality, the safest painkiller for them to take is Tylenol. So if you get a headache, you take a painkiller to get rid of it, right? We know this. Everybody does this. We also know that Tylenol is basically the least effective painkiller on the market. It only works for about 10% of the people. The rest of us might be a placebo effect. So we know that it's a terrible painkiller, but it is kind of dangerous because the level that's supposed to work is very close to the level that's considered overdose. So it's kind of a dangerous drug in that respect, because if it's not working, you end up taking more and taking more. Well, you're getting very dangerously close to the overdose level, to that dangerous level. So when we talk about correlations with drugs and effects and medical things like that, what the research says that yes, autism is increasing, but there's no proof yet that it's Tylenol that's doing it, because a mother who gets a headache while pregnant is prescribed Tylenol because it's the safest Tylenol, or safest painkiller for a pregnant woman. So yes, every woman that gets a headache, first thing they're going to be prescribed is Tylenol or acetaminophen, and it's just there. The issue is what's causing the mothers the headaches. This seems to be more of a genetic issue, and the mother's getting a headache because something else is affecting her and the baby and possibly causing the autism. So just naturally, the doctor says, take some Tylenol to help with the headaches. So it's it's Tylenol's always there, or in a large bunch of cases, Tylenol's there, but it's not the cause. And in fact, if you look at the research in some of the cases, Tylenol actually helps reduce the autism. So it's still early research, and we don't have a definitive answer, but it doesn't look like Tylenol is the cause. It is there because mothers are getting the headache, right? So anyway, I made a quick video last week and I spliced it down. I did it on the live and then I cut it down and I made it into a short, and the short was HR's best friend is Tylenol, and employees cause HR to take Tylenol, and then when employees go home, they also have to take Tylenol. So I thought it was a little bit clever, but I didn't realize, I didn't research the trend. I just looked up the trend and Tylenol was trending. So and I try to pay very little attention to what's happening south of the border, but I didn't realize what was happening. So I made this silly thing, and someone made a comment, oh, so when we're dealing with HR, we're dealing with someone with autism? You know, it's like, oh, God. I'm like, oh, I have a history of putting my foot in it. So, but that's the guess and test. That's the trying. I mean, it's better to deal with some of these trolls than to have never tried at all, right? You need to get out there and market your side gig, your side hustle. If one day you might want to transition it into a full business. And this is the hustle that I'm doing. I'm doing this live every day, right, as part of my 333 challenge. So posting 3 times a day for 3 months. Posting at least 3 things, posts per day for a month, or for 30 days for 3 months. So I'm trying to catch every day in the month. And so first part of that is posting as much as possible, 3 or more every day, even weekends and holidays. Then doing the random, it's something like the 365 random challenge, you would call it. So I'm trying to do something random, and that's what I was talking about with the Tylenol. It wasn't really anything to do with HR, except I tried to make it funny, and it kind of backfired on me because I didn't research it properly. And the third component is the live, because the live allows you to create a community, and allows people in general, but also your potential clients, your potential customers, to interact with you. So I could make just straight up videos on YouTube, but there's a lot of work in that. It's a lot of work to edit a video and, you know, create the titles and all that stuff. So I mean, this is totally unscripted, man. So I say and do anything during these lives. I try to keep it on topic as much as possible, but it's the marketing. It's how do I create a viral moment? I keep thinking, okay, let's make sure I say things properly in a good order, and then I'll be able to clip that. Part of this going live is that the program I'm using, Restream.io, allows me to use AI to generate 5 to 10 clips from this live. So I will get these extra clips and I'll be able to post them. I try to post them like the next day, so it's like not the same topic. But anyway, so I'll get 5 extra posts. So that's 5 of the viral clips from the AI one live, and then I'll try to do a written word post, and I'm trying to do weekly an article, but today I didn't get an article out. Actually, I was trying to do Tuesdays, but it's a rough week. I'm busy, and that brings me to the 333 challenge. I basically didn't get anything posted. I think I posted one video yesterday evening, but I didn't get anything posted on Monday or Sunday, and I'm not even sure if I managed Saturday, so I've kind of failed on this, but I continue on, and it's better to have missed a day or three than not doing anything at all. And it's I was thinking of trying to go a little live at the events, but then it's kind of, I don't know, it's one of those things. It's personal, it's traumatic, it's intergenerational traumatic, so it's not like, hey, I'm having a good time over here, it's not like I went to the fair or something like that and I'm on a ride and I'm having a good old time, right? It is serious, somber sort of situations, so it's hard to go live when you're doing something like that. But I certainly need to get better. There's lots of room for me to improve, and I've something I'm always thinking about in the back of my head. Oh, I'm going to talk about something. I'm going to run out of things to say. I'm going to run out of things to, keep the live show going. And I have on LinkedIn just over 12,000 connections. So if the world worked correctly, or the algorithm was still working the way it worked in the 2000s and 2010s, right? The algorithm has changed. Back then, the algorithm was get followers, and those followers see your content. And this is what we're hung up on. We need the millions of followers so 1 million people will see my content. So I have almost 12,000 followers. Well, I have over 12,000 connections on LinkedIn. Some of them people, I think a couple hundred, aren't following me. They're just connected to me. So, but shouldn't I have almost 12,000 views, or what do they call it, on impressions on LinkedIn? Like, there should be 12,000 people who see every piece of my content because they're connected and they're following me. But that's not true. My average followers or my average views on LinkedIn is anywhere from 50 to about 300. I have 12,000 connections. Why don't I get 12,000 impressions? Doesn't have to be views or reads, but 12,000 people should have had an opportunity to at least scroll past my content, but they don't. They don't ever see my content. The algorithm has changed. The algorithm is now content-based. Content, not who's following you. It's what content you put out, and whether or not someone is interested in that content. So me as a person on social media, I will watch a video or interact with a video or interact with a post. I'll like it, I'll heart it, I'll make a comment. Those are what matter. I may be following 1,000 people all about car repair because I happen to be a mechanic. But when I get on the app and I'm consuming the content, I'm not watching car repair content. I'm watching scare videos, I'm watching fail videos, I'm watching little bunny rabbit videos where they've put in voices. I'm consuming a bunch of cute AI content. I keep seeing the ice cream one now. They put an ice cream up to the ice cream thing, and the ice cream starts coming out, but it's furry. And then they pull it down, and it's a little kitten that just came out of the ice cream machine, and they're in the ice cream cone. Right? I'm seeing those. Why am I seeing those? Anyway, we're seeing a lot of AI content, but that's neither here nor there for this. But the thing is, we're seeing content that we want to see. It doesn't matter that I'm following 10,000 auto mechanics. I'm never going to see their content, because never have I gone into there and just liked every one of their pieces of mechanic content. Right? I saw it once and said, oh, I followed. But compared to that mechanic content, I'm consuming this other stuff, and a lot more of it. And that's where my attention is. So that's what's happening with my LinkedIn account. People might be connected with me, but they don't give a shit about HR content that I put out. Indigenous relations content, they don't care about that, right? That's not what they consume when they're on the app. So it's interesting when you think about that. It's kind of a good example is TikTok, because TikTok has the people you're following and the For You page, right? If you click on the people that you follow, that's the content from the people you follow and everything they've posted recently, right? It's got nothing to do with your interests. It's got everything to do with who you're following. And when you go to the For You page and you start scrolling through that, that's your true interests that you've shown the app that you like. And so it's completely different, isn't it? Like the people you currently follow, that's not the stuff that's showing up on the For You page. Because the app algorithm knows different, knows better, knows what you really want. So, this brings us around back to, if you're worried you're going to run out of content. Sometimes I'm worried I'm going to run out of content. Well, I've spoken about the algorithm now. This will be at least the third time I've spoken about the change in the algorithm, as far as I can tell. But when only a couple hundred of my connections on LinkedIn sees the content, I can talk about the one piece of content for days, and not everybody who connected with me or follows me will ever see it. The content is very sparse, so you've got to get creative, and you've got to... Sorry, just coughing. You've got to do some things. For sure, you need to just post more. However you want to post, whatever you want to post, it's got to be done more. At least 3 times a day, every day, because the algorithm is going to learn that you're a frequent poster. And supposedly they share more when you're a frequent poster. So become that frequent poster. You need to have just a ton of content out there, and it needs to just keep coming. So posting a lot. And on platforms like LinkedIn, I'm not sure how it works with other platforms, but on LinkedIn, you want to comment on other people's posts. And that is because when you look at your notifications when you're in LinkedIn, it says Frank posted on Henry's post. Well, that doesn't have anything to do with me. Why Why does that matter? Well, it means that people you connect with, you get informed when they do stuff, right? So if I'm commenting every day, my followers and their followers, the person I commented, the post I commented on, their followers will get a notification saying, hey, Ian commented on this post from David, right? And I don't follow anybody from David's group, right? I just follow David. So now the couple thousand people that followed David got a notification that I posted on David's stuff, right? So all of a sudden, that's getting your name out there to the secondary, because with LinkedIn, it talks about your first level connections. These are all the people you're connected with. And then your second level connections. This is everybody that's connected to your first level connections. And then 3+, that's everybody connected to your second level connection. So you have this massive audience when you use it right. So definitely making the comments and liking stuff that's important to you is important, because you're going to see more of that, and certain algorithms are going to point out and say, this dude likes this stuff and he made a comment, right? Like it's kind of a tricky little thing. But sometimes it's hard to make these comments. It's hard to make the content. The important thing about posting to social media is that it is free dollars to get you in. It's absolutely free. Now, it is going to take you time, or if you're a bigger organization or you really want to step it up, you probably have to hire somebody to do your social media posting, right? So that's where the cost is. But instead of spending thousands of dollars on unproven ads, you're spending money on somebody who's actually creating original content for you. And I think that's way more valuable, because the idea of making all this content is trying to figure out what hits, what works, what's going to pop off. And so you need to just make all this stuff. And then as soon as you see something that pops off, instead of making a few hundred views or even 1,000 views that you would normally get, as soon as you see that one that's making 10, 20 million views, that's the content. You need to take that specific content and say, let's rework it into an ad, right? It could be just boosting that piece of content, or it could be making a more professional looking version of it and making sure that gets out there, and you turn that into an ad, because you know that content is proven to get likes, to get seen, to get comments, right? You've proven that content. You've proven that that creative is the creative for you. It's the one that is currently going to work. So you want to double down on that. Every other piece of content you put out, you ignore it until something exciting happens with it, right? It's a numbers game. It's about content. That's what it is. You want to put out as much content as you can, posting it for free. You get a free test on this content, and if nothing happens to it, you just ignore it. You just continue creating new content. That's where things like the live show allows you to talk about different things. That's why the 365 random posting, you just randomly post something. Now, why does the random post work when it's not related to your business? I know This is something that Gary Vee talks about, and he's just passionate about getting people to build their business this way. We have this opportunity. It's free. But I'm an HR professional. I'm trying to get your HR business. This is me. This is what I'm trying to do. I would love to help you with your HR and create your policies, things like that. And I could talk about that all day, and I could make posts about that all day long. But you may never see it because it's boring content, or it's not creative, or whatever, right? Or you might not be currently in the market for my services. So I shouldn't be posting an ad. I should be posting some other content. So I'm interested in Dungeons and Dragons and Magic the Gathering. I love Star Trek. I love Star Wars too. These are the things that I'm interested in. I love the Alien series. So I can pull from all that social content, the pop culture. I can pull from all that and, I don't know, create something. I don't know. I tend to make it HR related anyway. But I could be just talking about Magic the Gathering and saying, this is my favorite combo. These are the cards I like to use to do this combo. And it just really hits hard, and it's super exciting. And that's it. That's the content, and I send it out there. Anyone who's interested in Magic the Gathering might be like, oh, that's an awesome combo. Or they might come back, hey, that's the worst combo ever, Ian, right? But now a bunch of people that play Magic the Gathering, chances are they're around my age or a little younger, because I started playing Magic in high school when Magic cards first came out in the early 90s, right? So it's going to be people about my age. Okay, check mark, right? But they didn't consume my content for my HR skills or my HR ability. They're saying, oh God, this guy, he's got a pretty good combo that he likes to use. And so they're going to click on my profile. Like, this guy's pretty awesome, right? Let's check out his profile. And they're like, oh, this is some HR dude. And they might be a little baffled. Why is he talking about this? And they're like, whatever. I'm going to follow him anyway. Maybe he's got more Magic the Gathering stuff he wants to talk about. So they follow me, or they like my content, or they comment, or something, right? Now, that potential small business owner or manager of a small to medium-sized business is going to run into a problem at their business. It's an HR problem. Who is he going to go to? Some random HR consultant or a random HR consulting agency? Or is there a possibility that he's going to like, I remember Ian talking about Magic the Gathering. I love playing Magic, so I'm going to call Ian because he seems like an okay guy. Right? It's got nothing to do with HR, but they know me for something else, and there's that possibility that they're going to think of me. If you have a random piece of content like that just completely pops off because it's related to the current trends or whatever, let's say you get that amazing first piece of content that gets 1 million views or 1 million plus views. It's got nothing to do with your business or your organization or whatever you're trying to do. It's totally random. What percentage of the 1 million viewers are gonna like and follow you and realize and discover you as something else? What percentage? I mean, even if that's 1% of 1 million is what? 100? 100,000? I can't even think. That's 10%. 10% is 100,000. So 10,000 people, I believe, is 1% of a million. 10,000 potential customers out of a million, right? If you were to get even worse, 0.5%, that's 5,000 new customers. 5,000 potential new customers. If you make one piece of content and you get 5,000 new customers, would that be worth your time? Right? Would that be worth your time? I think the idea is that we make sure we're prepared, make sure we're monetized, so that if anything ever pops off, then we're ready. So whatever it is you're doing, your side hustle, your side business, make sure you've got a link in your profiles. And I've started using Linktree again because I'm having issues. I'm trying to put the content on all kinds of different places, and I really don't want to have to go into every app and update it every time. So I've started to use the Linktree. And let's open up a new window. Let's go to my Linktree. How do I look at it? Come on now. Okay. Yeah, of course everything has to be slow. So I'm going to share this. Share window. I'm going to share this other tab. Oh, I don't like that. I hate that view. I always hate that view. This is better. So this is my Linktree. And as I'm trying to do more advertising, or not advertising is when you pay money. I'm doing marketing, posting everything for free, right? So I'm trying to do as much marketing as I can. And on every website, every social site, and basically on every post, I'm trying to put the link just to my Linktree, because I've got too many things going on to have to always update. And some websites like TikTok Business, they only allow one link. Other places they allow more, and like YouTube, you can put a whole bunch of links in, but I just think it's starting to get messy. So I've decided I'm just going to put the Linktree link everywhere, and I'm going to make my changes in one place on Linktree. So when we look at this, I have my IanTheHRPro live podcast info. And when you go there, I created a page on my website that shows my standard streaming schedule, if you want to be a guest, and where to watch and listen, right? I put those links up. And that's kind of covering the podcast side of things, right? If someone wants to be on the podcast, the important thing there is that I'm just getting people interested in getting some viewers, possibly getting some guests. We can talk about your business. Depending on the theme of the day, if your business is related to that, you can come onto that show. And then we talk about your business. You get some free marketing out of it, right? And then I got 2 links to Whatnot, and this is live social selling. This is the home shopping network meets a garage sale, essentially. So with this link, I'm giving anybody who wants to shop $15, and they can get that $15. If anyone is thinking of selling, which I'm trying to do also, I've got my old Magic cards, and I got rid of a whole bunch of my old comics and things like that. But now with the Canada Post strike, I think I'm just gonna keep delaying my next show, my next live selling until the Canada Post strike is over. So I don't know, that could be a couple weeks, could be a couple months, but I'm just trying to, it's just a mess. So I'd rather support Canada Post workers and say, okay, get your money, get your stuff done, and then we'll start working with you again, right? So I put those up because that's kind of, I'm giving money, right? Get my ebook, Stop Staff Drama Fast. This is my $7 ebook, and if I get 1 million viewers and a possibility of 5,000 people interested in HR and they want to buy my ebook, the link is there. And again, this takes them to my website, and it's got the sales page stuff and about me, and just like, this is the first level. This is $7. $7 one time, and I got a plan to basically stop your staff drama in like 5 days. So, and then I got get my cool, I say cool because they're HR designs and coffee mugs and stickers, right? This is my creative outlet, but I'm kind of relating it to all my topics. This is my TeePublic store. These are all of the designs I've created, and you can see the different designs I've made. These are the more recent ones, and you found me. This is from Dazed and Confused quote. Right, some of these for National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. I like this I am HR sort of stuff, and just different designs I've created. Thanksgiving dinner, the original staff meeting with gravy. So I kind of relate some of these to HR and stuff like that, right? Now accepting applications, unicorn employees only, right? So these are designs I'm making. I think I've got a couple hundred designs on it right now. And just whenever something, a little spark of creativity comes, I'll make a design and I'll throw it up there. And that's kind of a side hustle, but it's kind of an addition to my business. Because it's HR stuff, but it's all my creativity I can put into it. And the actual fact is that if you're going to sell a lot of stickers like that on, or coffee mugs, t-shirts, and things like that on TeePublic, you're going to need like a couple thousand designs before you actually start making some money. And the best time of year is always Christmas. So you got to try to get all these designs made before Christmas. And you got to make sure that they're not the same design with a different word on it. Like world's greatest mom, world's greatest dad, world's greatest uncle, world's greatest auntie, world's greatest nephew, world's greatest niece, world's greatest son, world's greatest daughter, world's greatest grandfather, world's greatest grandmother, right? You got to make sure that you're not just doing that and creating a lot of designs, because the algorithm on TeePublic will kind of catch on. You're doing the exact same thing and you've just changed a little something. Try to mix it up, do lots of different designs. Anyway, purchase HR support now. So imagine I got 1 million people see that post that goes viral. 5,000 of them are actually interested possible clients. Maybe some buy the ebook, maybe some purchase HR services now. So this is back to my website. And one-time meeting, 25 bucks Canadian plus GST. I got some monthly options, some yearly options for emailing and getting a hold of me. And then there's the free needs assessment. Do you really need HR services? Let's have a free 30-minute meeting. Right? These are on my website. Now imagine if I had 5,000 possible people wanting to talk to me and book a 30-minute meeting. That's insane. That's not something I could handle, probably. But I'm prepared. Some of these people are going to just continue looking at my podcast. Some might purchase my ebook. But imagine if 5,000 people purchased my ebook for $7. 5,000 times $7. That's $35,000 I would make just from one piece of content. And I'm prepared to do it because I've monetized. There's different options here. Imagine if 25,000 people decided, or 5,000 people decided to buy t-shirts from me. I only make a couple bucks off each t-shirt, but 5,000 people buying a t-shirt times $2 is 10 grand. Can't lose, right? What do I got? Learn more about the Kairos blanket exercise. Now, I spoke about that earlier, and that's why I wasn't live on Monday and Tuesday, because me and my wife did the Kairos blanket exercise. We're facilitators. We did it on Sunday for the public at our community league. I did a short version. It's not impactful. It's essentially just a history lesson. I did that on Monday, and then for the same company, yesterday we did the full blanket exercise. They're certainly more impactful. And I want people to know that I do it. And we got another one tomorrow, so I won't be live tomorrow again. We'll be going to another live Kairos blanket exercise, and then we will be doing another one on Sunday. And then we'll be doing, I've already got another one booked for November. So it's kind of a busy time of year for us. So I want people to click there and learn more about the Kairos blanket exercise in Edmonton. Here's some pictures from different events we've done. And a friend of mine, she let me use her powwow pick, Crystal Gladue. Thank you for sharing that picture with me. And it talks about the KBE, and then you can book it. That's great. Now, I don't imagine getting 5,000 KBEs, but imagine a couple hundred, right? Or 10. I mean, this is kind of a big ticket item, so 10's a lot. 10's a busy week, 10's a busy month, 10's a busy year, basically, with this high ticket item. And then book a 30-minute meeting with me. This goes right to my calendar link. So the different types of meetings that someone might want to do. They've seen my content, and now they're just like, oh, I want to talk to you about this stuff, right? And this collaborations too. Anybody who wants to be on the podcast, or maybe they just want to collaborate on content, right? I'm totally open to that, and they can go there. And then down at the bottom here, I have 2 Fiverr gigs. So I will review your resume and give you tips. So this takes you to my Fiverr gig on Fiverr. Oh, what's this? And talks about me and what the gig entails and how much it costs, right? $7.30 plus fees Canadian. And I review your resume and I give you tips, and then you can improve your resume, right? Imagine if 5,000 people wanted that service from me. Right? Essentially, at the back end, love you. So that's my wife sneaking around, blowing kisses at me. Sorry you had to watch that disgusting display of affection. Just kidding, I'm not sorry. So imagine 5,000 people times $7, again, that's the $35,000 again. I mean, that's a lot of work for me. It would take me a long time to fill all those orders, but I would still be making $35,000. Thank you very much. And shout out your LinkedIn post or article to my 12,000 connections. So because I have a lot of connections on LinkedIn, I do have the ability to make a few bucks when people want me to share their content, because a lot of people are still paying for content and trying to get that reach. And I mean, if 5,000 people want me to share on my LinkedIn, I might not take all those orders, because that's a lot of content that might not be related to me directly, but going in the spirit of having random content, I'm generating a little bit of content. So that's awesome. And of course, there's my different social links down here at the bottom. I'm using a free version. So LinkedIn has it, or Linktree has its ad down here, of course. Now, if you get a paid version, you can actually, there's the Linktree store, and you can add store items and things like that, different things. But I'm doing this because I've got a lot of different things, little things. And if some of my content does pop off and go crazy, I want to be ready. I'm already monetized, and especially my own ebook. I've created this one time. Now it's for sale. I could make a lot of money with very low effort by my part. There's nothing for me to fulfill with selling the ebook. So if I'm making $35,000 on my ebook because a million people viewed a piece of my content, I'm laughing, right? Like, it's very little. The cool thing is, when you're in that ebook, it gives you an upgrade to my larger ebook, which is $47, and they get a discount of $7 because they purchased this first ebook. They now get a discount of $7 when they want to buy my full ebook, which is, I think, like almost 40 pages or something like that, but it's a lot more in depth with HR tips essentially in it. So there's this upgrade in there. And then from the full book, I think from the smaller $7 ebook, it also says book a meeting with me, right? So it kind of funnels the people through. It's a funnel. It's a sales funnel, yeah. So it funnels the people through until possibly I'm getting a client that needs a $10,000 project done, right? And that's my ultimate goal. If I can get 5 or 10 big clients all paying $5,000 or $10,000 a year, that's work for me. I'm steady, but it's a bigger project. But if in order for me to get one $10,000 project, I make $35,000, I mean, that's pretty nifty. That's really nifty, right? So you kind of do a front end load on something that's cheap and easy. But the key is just getting the content out there. Just tons of content. There's no way that you can saturate the market, because we've got the proof on my account. Every time I post a piece of content, everybody on LinkedIn should see it. That's 12,000 people. Every time I post something, 12,000 people should see my content. But that's not true. 50 to 200 people on average see my content. So most of my connections, followers, they're not seeing my content. So I could post the same video every day for a year, and not everybody that I'm connected with will see it. So not everybody is consuming that content. They will consume the content when they want to consume the content or when they need to consume that content. So they'll be like, oh, I need an HR consultant or whatever. Suddenly there's HR content that they're seeing from me. And that just shows that, content is king still, right? Like, you need to start posting. And I think right now a lot of the socials, they're really leaning towards video content. So get unscared. Get excited about being on camera, man. 2 weeks ago when I went live, I was live like this, and I had my cell phone set up, and I was live on the Whatnot app, and I'm trying to sell my old comic books. Man, that was scary. I was freaked out. I was almost as freaked out as when I first started this daily live, this weekday live. And it takes time. It takes time for you to get used to being in front of the camera. I got a little sticker that says, look here. I'm constantly looking at me, or I'm looking out the window at the squirrel running along the fence. Or if I got my screen crooked or something, I'm looking down at myself, and I'm talking to you like this, looking away from you instead of looking at the camera. It takes time. It takes practice. Oh my God. And since I'm calling this a podcast now, and on YouTube, I can assign any piece of my content to be a podcast. I think you're able to listen to it. I haven't tried, but I think you can just listen to it like it's audio. And I haven't tried myself. So I got to make sure there's no dead air. My God, this is freaking me out, right? So, but I'm getting used to being on camera, and I'm getting used to it. And the live is just an amazing way to do it. I mean, if you can give it the 333 challenge, if you can go live almost every day for 30 days, you can go live at least 22 days a month for the next 3 months, you're going to get some good practice, and you're going to see if people are actually interested in your content, in your gigs or whatever. So we looked at my link tree, and you see the sort of stuff that I'm trying to sell. Some of it's related, some of it's not related, and it's just mainly things I'm interested in. And if it ever pops off, a piece of content, I may make some sales. That's great. Okay, that's the goal, but I'm prepared. So what are you doing? Whatever topic you're talking about, whatever business, side hustle, side gig you're trying to grow, yes, you're going to talk about that stuff, but you're also just going to have some fun, random content in there. You're going to do some lives, and you're going to do lives a lot. You're going to use Restream.io that I'm using here and get some auto-generated clips that you can post. But you're going to say, I need to make sure I'm prepared. If suddenly a piece of your content goes viral, 1 million plus views, and you're not prepared, you're scrambling that day when you realize it's 100,000, 200,000, 500,000 views, and you're like, my God, I got nothing to monetize that. Because if you're on YouTube or you're part of TikTok creator fund or whatever, right, you should not be relying on the service itself to give you money. I'm not monetized on YouTube yet. I'm certainly not monetized on TikTok. So I want to be prepared, because if one piece of content goes viral, then I don't get paid for those views because I'm not monetized yet on those platforms. It will leapfrog me and allow me to possibly get monetized a lot quicker, but I missed out on that initial jump, right? So you got to find out what's what's related to your content that you can share. And I would say look for a handful of things that you can monetize. Certainly create your own little ebook. Make it simple. Charge $1 for it. Right? Do it simple. Now, I put mine at $7 because I'm an HR expert. I know all this stuff. And I'm like, $7, that's pretty good, because my main bigger ebook is $47. But could I do better if I said, I'm just going to start with a simple ebook for $1? Whatever skill you have that you want to share, write that simple 5-10 page ebook with some really great tips, right? Sell it for $1. This is your gateway, right? People are going to learn that you know your stuff. So you're going to have that one piece of content. You may be skilled enough that you're thinking, let's make an online course. And so you're going to have to record some videos. It's a lot more work. You may be charging monthly for it, or you may charge a one-time fee for it, for lifetime access, whatever you might be doing. But that takes a little bit more work. You may also want to find some affiliate programs that are related to what you do, that you'd be okay sharing, and put that on there. And you may decide to do the consulting side of things, and that's where the big money comes. They pay you a couple $1,000s and you work with them to do the thing. And that's bigger chunks of money at one time, but it's harder to get those clients. So kind of, these other things kind of lead towards your big ticket item. Your ebook, at the end of the ebook, it says, hey, do you want to take my course? Here's a course, more in-depth course, and it's this price, and there's the link to it. And you may also say, hey, if you want to do some one-on-one consulting, here's the link for that. Right? And it is this lead into making the more money. So imagine you've got this little funnel going and these different little places of making money that are really related to what you have. You're ready. Now you can just concentrate on content for the next 3 months to a year. I mean, if you're not popping off after 3 months, you really got to consider the type of content you're creating and things like that. But during that 3 months, you're testing all kinds of stuff. You're doing the random posts on random trending topics and things like that, right? Like you're really reaching out there trying to figure out what's going to work. So let's go to Google Trends. Let's share the screen again. Keeps putting me down there. I like this better. Because my face is bigger. Anyway, so we go to Google Trends. Trends.google.com. This is like the ultimate place. You click on Trending Now. Now, because I'm in Canada, it's going to show me the things that are trending in Canada. And in actuality, my big ticket customers are going to be in Edmonton, Alberta, or kind of Western Canada, right? That's where my, oh no, Jane Goodall died. Oh no, I'm almost tearing up. Amazing scientist of our time. I'm so sad that Jane Goodall has passed away. And she's going to leave such an amazing legacy for her work. And I hope her friends and family make it through this all right. Look at that, trends. So I might have to make a little tribute video for her or something. Or maybe I just clip that part and I share that. I did not expect to see Jane Goodall pass away today. So that's a trending topic. That's something to create a video about. It's a sad video. Maybe not something you want to trend on, but still, it's something you got to try. Canada travel warning. Canada updates travel warning for US, right? Like, we are being told not to travel to the US. And that's scary because I think the number one travel destination for Canadians was the United States. They're killing their industry, what's the word? Vacation industry. Why am I travel industry? I've lost the word. Anyway, earthquake in Philippines, and people in Canada were talking about it, right? Like, we still got some football, international football going on. Lots of Canadians talking about it. Canada-US border closed. Oh, system outage. So it slowed down the border. Who's this Connor Ingram? Connor Ingram. Oh. Connor Ingram has joined the Oilers. And this is local. This is Edmonton for me. This is certainly something I should have talked about. Although I don't follow sports anymore. I haven't watched hockey since the trade. And if you don't know which trade I'm talking about, you're too young. Government shutdown. Oh, the U.S. Vote to end U.S. government shutdown fails. Oh, God, it's more. Even Canadians are talking about the U.S. shutdown. Maggie Pa. Keith Irving. So that is guitarist who passed away. Anyway, so I've got a few things that I could make shorts on. Right, they could be something that goes viral. The saddest one for me, I think, is Jane Goodall. Amazing scientist in her time, so the world is a sadder place because of that, for sure. But imagine making a piece of content, just a Mario quick video or something. Jane Goodall's trending. 20,000K search volume in the last 24 hours. You can see the 24 hours there. This is what people were talking about. And you could change trends by relevance and different categories, right? You could. I bet you Jane Goodall's in the climate. Oh, no. Business and finance. Yearly stock. Shares soaring today. Oh, they got a big deal. But, right, you can look at these different Reddit stocks. Jesus. Anyway, you could look at different sections that would be concerning to you. Xbox Game Pass. What's going on with the Xbox Game Pass? Well, they added a bunch of new games, and the Game Pass raises top Game Pass subscription, and they increased the price. Outrageous. Anyway, you have these different things that only lasted for an hour. Right, but you can search and find out something related to your topic. Oh. Okay. So this is another scary one. I grew up watching Bruce Willis movies, right? So, I'm scared to see actors' names on this list or famous people names on this list because it's just like, oh my God, what's happening? What's happening? Hobbies and leisure. Jane Goodall's in Hobbies and Leisures. Jeez. National Boyfriend Day. Oh my. What's going on, Spike Lee? He spiked for an hour. Weird stuff trending. Anyway, but you've got to get on these trends and make some random content. Trending content. Some of it, try to be respectful. Don't mess up with the Tylenol post like me. I didn't research. I didn't look at it. I just saw Tylenol on that list and I made a little clip. Right? You got to get a little more into that. I probably wouldn't have mentioned Tylenol if I knew it was something that Trump was talking about. But sorry, had to cough. So, what time are we? How long have we been on? An hour and 11 minutes. No chats. Alright, side gigs. I'm just trying to see if there's something useful I can share here with you for the side gig stuff. Right, I do have all this stuff set up here for my own side gigs, which is really just an extension of my business. So I have the QR code that we saw for my Stop Staff Drama Fast. This is a shorter version. This is a 5-day way to stop your staff drama. Right now I'm selling this for $7. This is my low ticket item. I could sell it for $1. But then service fees and things like that. So I don't know. I would keep it for $5, $5 to $10 is probably a good starter ebook for you. Now this is The People Problem Fix. This is my larger ebook. I was selling this for $97. I'm now selling it for $47. Again, kind of being a low ticket item, and it's kind of an upsell on the back. If you bought the $7 ebook, you get a $7 discount to purchase this ebook from that other ebook. So you don't get that $7 if you click here. You'd have to buy the other ebook to get that. But either way, you're paying $47 if you go for this ebook. But I'm trying to make it as like it's like you're investing in a larger product, right? Like, oh, you can purchase this, but then we'll give you a discount if you purchase the larger item, if you like the smaller item, right? Like, I guess that's exactly what I'm doing, but it's that sense of I've already invested in something like that, right? And of course, I've got my t-shirt links. This takes you directly to the Leaders Win When the Team Wins t-shirt. I don't know, it might be on sale right now. TeePublic kind of does their own sales, but this is the normal price, $28, I think. This is my favorite HR t-shirt. In space, HR can't hear you scream. So I love the Alien movies. And so this is, I got this kind of this whole theme of working in space type t-shirts. And this is my older Truth and Reconciliation Day t-shirt. It's, it's a white shirt. You can get it in any color, but it's got an orange heart on it. And I like to share this link, 21 things you may not know about the Indian Act. This is an affiliate link that goes to Amazon website. And I don't know, I might make $1 if you purchase this. Or probably less, probably making like 49 cents if you purchase this, but it's still an affiliate link. And here's another affiliate link. Because I love playing Dungeons and Dragons, I've created an affiliate link. So when I talk about Dungeons and Dragons, this is the D&D Player's Handbook. This is the main book you need when you decide you want to join a D&D game. And this has the 2024 rules. So it's the most recent rules. $69.95. This book used to be $35 back in the 90s, right? So price has gone up, but whatever. Imagine a $70 purchase and your child has, endless hours of playtime, entertainment time. Your teenager spends the whole weekend in their bedroom with 2 or 3 of their friends. They're playing Dungeons and Dragons, and you only spend $70 on the book. Man, that actually starts getting really cheap. It's one-time purchase. Paper and pencil game, creativity. Oh, you get your child has to start thinking and be creative, or you do. Maybe you're just like me and you play Dungeons and Dragons. It's a time to be creative. I also have this Career Coach GPT. So this book teaches you how to use AI to help you build your resumes and your cover letters. This is also just a affiliate link to Amazon. I mean, I might make 30, 40 cents if you purchase this, but it's still there, right? And I talked about Pump Up the Volume once. This going live like this makes me think of the radio show, the pirate radio show that he does in the movie Pump Up the Volume. Christian Slater, I love this show. But he always starts his show off with Leonard Cohen's song, "Everybody knows that the dice are loaded. Everybody knows," right? Like that's a cool way to start your show. Obviously, he doesn't have a license for that song because it's a pirate radio station. Not like me, I gotta try to make sure everything's legal on my podcast. And of course, I like to do some big ticket items. Magic the Gathering Foundations. This is your basic card set. You buy this box. It's got 24 boosters packs, and each booster pack has like 14 to 16 cards in it, and they're random. They're totally random, man. But when I created this link, there was only like 1 or 2 items left, so it might not even be there. So when you click on that, you might have to search for other stuff. But this, and it was cheaper when I first looked at it. It was $159. It was all on sale or something, right? So I missed out on the sale. But this gets you the basic. It isn't the expansion pack. This is the newest edition of Magic the Gathering, and there's usually like 250 to 300 cards in the base edition that you create your deck out of. Thanks for scanning those. I saw you scan those. Thank you very much. And I created a new, and of course that's affiliate link. Someone purchased $190 from Amazon. What am I gonna make? I'm gonna make $5 maybe, right? And if you're doing your own side gig, your own side hustle, and you have this ability to throw in these little things, whether like I could put this link on my link tree. If all I'm talking about is gaming and Magic the Gathering, I'm gonna have a whole bunch of links to Magic the Gathering related things that people could purchase because it's related to my content, right? And of course, this is my newest Truth and Reconciliation Day National Day for Truth and Reconciliation here in Canada. Unfortunately, TeePublic that I use is a US site. So it was on sale for $27. It might not be on sale. When it first showed up, it was $33 when I first put the design in. It's a simple design. But that takes you to that. And my wife said this to me one day just before I was going live, about 2 weeks ago. We all die trying, she said. And again, I don't know if this is on sale. This is at my TeePublic site. Also, we all die trying, or the winky face, right? So it was kind of funny. And of course, I can also put the link to my Fiverr gig. I will review your resume. I'll give you tips to improve it, right? And this is the 724 Canadian. And I have $25 crossed out, because if people who know me come to me and they're like, hey, I need you to review my resume, I charge them $25. But I charge cheaper on Fiverr because I'm trying to increase my level on Fiverr. So if you have freelance type gigs, little services that you're doing for people, then Fiverr is a good place to get started. You almost don't need to advertise your Fiverr gigs, but certainly add them to your link tree when you're making content, right? If I was just all about doing resumes, certainly this would be at the top of my link tree, and I'd be trying to get people to come and, purchase my Fiverr gig, and it can be trusted because it's all through Fiverr. You're not giving me money or anything like that. This is all through Fiverr. Then of course I can do things with, like, up here in the top right hand corner, I got this. You get $15 if you join Whatnot. And this is the one, we saw this on my link tree. This is the one where Whatnot will give you $15 if you start purchasing on their app. And then the next one I share is the $150 to sell on Whatnot. So if you start selling on Whatnot in that first week, in your first 7 days of joining Whatnot is going to match your first $150 in sales. So if you just start selling junk around your house, they're going to match you up to $150. So you're going to sell $150 worth of stuff, but you're going to earn $300. But that's in the first week. So just, if you want to take advantage of that, you got to just do it. I missed it. I joined and I kind of looked at Whatnot and stuff. So I missed $150. And I can do some cross promoting here. This is my sister's Facebook group for her side gig, Unbound Creations, and it's Indigenous crafts by her and her family, and some from my mother. And they go to farmers markets and things like that. And so if you join the Facebook group, you can message her and say, hey, you got some cool stuff, I want to purchase it from you. So you see this green dragon that's in the background behind me? That's actually there in that photo. I purchased it from her the last time we were there. And it's a 3D printed dragon. It's wicked cool. So, but she does all kinds of other cool stuff. My mother is an elder for beading and moccasin making. So she's got a lot of her beadwork. My sister's like a slave driver. makes her do some beading, so she has stock. Sorry, coughing still. What else we got here? I think we're winding down, but you can see when you start generating that content, it doesn't necessarily have to be just content about your topic. But you could have a really fun topic, really fun business, so that everything you talk about is just fun, right? If you're in the hobby sector or gaming or whatever, right? The idea is that you just create content. That's why we have a lot of these big Twitch gamers that are live streaming their games, and they're making millions of dollars and millions of views, right? But you got to make sure that you're monetizing. You got to get that base monetization in, whatever it is. So as soon as your content pops off, you're ready to go. It's go time. Because I think the saddest thing would be spending all this time posting content, trying to generate views, something pops off, 1 million+ views, and you got nothing. It's crickets, right? Because you were not prepared for the virality of marketing online. It's free. Yes, it's free, except for your time to create that content. So you're not spending millions of dollars, or in my case, thousands of dollars on paid advertising and getting nothing for it. I think in the last year, I spent about $6,000. All I got was a business credit card bill instead of making sales. So this is why I'm doing this. I did more research on what I should be doing. Content. It might be scary. Might be scary for you. If you're going live every day, like I'm trying to do on each weekday, it might be scary. You might not be an on-screen type of person. But I encourage you to try. I don't think, I feel like I don't have a voice for radio or for TV or a face for TV, right? But I'm doing it. I'm starting to get some views, starting to get some followers. And when you're trying to build your gig or side hustle, you don't have money. You don't have that money to spend on this. If you got your full-time job and you're just paying your bills, now your side gig, you're waiting for it to pop off and something awesome to happen. It's free. You're posting free content. And you will never, ever see me doing the music, voiceover singing, or the viral dances. I don't know, maybe. I almost did that viral dance where it's like they change outfits, but they're kind of like and they're just kind of doing this simple thing, and every 2 beats their outfit changes or whatever. I was thinking of doing it for my t-shirts, and I would say, when HR comes to visit you daily. And so I'd be like, Monday I got my coral shirt on. Tuesday, I got my blue shirt on. Wednesday, I got my green shirt on. Thursday, I got my light blue shirt on. Friday, I got my purple shirt on, right? I got all these polo shirts with the collar. Look professional, but really it's just a fancy t-shirt. I was thinking of doing that video, but it just feels like a lot of work. My God. So... oh my God. So I don't know what to say now. We're going to turn off the questions. No more questions. If you arrived late, my name is IanTheHRPro. I'm IanTheHRPro. This is my live podcast. It's always a disaster. It's not scripted. Certainly, you want to come on the show, connect with me, come on the show. You can send an email here to me, ian@littlebluehouse.ca, and we can chat about bringing you on the show. We can choose a day that's related to your business, and we can talk about your business. And I think that would be a cool thing. You get some free advertising, some free video. So yes, come for that. Today I managed to go live. It should be on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. I tried on Friday to also go live on TikTok, and after going live on TikTok on Friday, I got a bunch of emails saying you're not allowed to go live on TikTok. So I don't know, I might not go live on TikTok. I may just continue to put the shorts on TikTok, the link to the actual live on other platforms. But I'm also toying with possibly going live on Twitch at the same time. And I'll see. I know I have a Twitch account, and I can't remember what I was trying to do on the Twitch account. But certainly, I don't know. I know there's a lot of streaming going on Twitch. All them young millennials and what's the word? Gen Z folk. You young kids. So anyway, trying to do that. It's a slow build because you need to get on as many platforms as possible when you're making content. Absolutely every platform. If you think your target market isn't on a certain platform, that's fine. Start with the platform you know for sure. So that's why I started with LinkedIn and YouTube and Facebook. I started with those three because I know for a fact that's my primary target market of small business owners and managers. So I know for sure they're there. But anyone who says old people or boomers are not on TikTok is delusional. There's a lot of seniors, a lot of elders, a lot of boomers consuming TikTok content. So why wouldn't your business, where you need older people as your customers, why wouldn't it work on TikTok? Right? So who's consuming on those socials? Think about that. Who's really consuming? And that'll help you decide, well, where am I going live? And in the actual fact, you should be just posting everywhere you possibly can. If you use a program like Restream.io, like me, every place that I can live stream, I can also post to. And I have TikTok set up, even though it won't let me live stream, it's still letting me post my clips, my viral clips to it. So that's awesome. I mean, that is a mega time saver. I still have to go in and kind of edit the shorts every now and again, but it's fairly easy. It's a little bit janky and slow, but it's all in the browser. Restream.io, I'm in the browser. Everything is here. It's not a weird program. I tried a different streaming program earlier this year, and it was just like I was confused and lost. I didn't know what was going on. So that's fine. Anyway, we're an hour and a half in. I want to eat some food. I think it's rude if I'm on a podcast and I'm trying to eat some food. So I'm going to let everybody go. Thank you for watching. Email me if you want to collaborate or if you have any questions. I'll try to answer your questions via email. I'm always happy to do that. Today was side hustles and side gigs. Tomorrow is Career Club. No, I'm not live tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be facilitating another Kairos blanket exercise for a client. So I will not be live tomorrow. I will be live on Friday, which will be fun and games. Anything and everything fun and games on Friday. So come in for that. I was hoping to go live on Whatnot at the same time and sell some stuff during that live also, but I've decided not to because of the Canada Post strike. I would rather just let them deal with their Canada Post stuff. I'm trying to support the workers, And so I'm probably not going to go live on Whatnot. I will change. If you're following me on Whatnot, I will change the date on that again. And I think I'll just keep changing it to the next Friday until the Canada Post strike is done. So I'm sorry, but it gives me time to look at some of my magic cards and some other collectible items that I'm trying to sell. So anyway, thank you everybody. Talk to you later. See you on